Finally, if you've been thinking about buying a home and your credit's not quite what it should be, we have an expert that will show you there's hope for potential homeowners with less than perfect credit.
It's no secret that our country has experienced an economic crisis in recent years. As a result, there were loss of jobs, and many families even lost their homes. This has left people wondering if they could ever buy a home again. The good news is, if you've had a life event such as a foreclosure, short sale, or bankruptcy, or even if you've never owned a home but experienced credit issues, there is hope. It is possible to own a home. The key is getting ready for it. With preparation, you'll be on the path to home ownership. Designing Spaces met up with Kelly Zitlow with Creek Mortgage to get some tips on securing a mortgage, even if you had a previous foreclosure or other financial setbacks.
So for a lot of people, this is a sensitive subject. They think home ownership is out of the picture because of a previous foreclosure or other financial problems. And some might even avoid this situation altogether because they think it's too difficult. What do you have to say to them?
First and foremost, know that it is okay. You're going to get through this, and it is possible to buy again. Lending is available in this country, and there is hope. There's a process you're going to need to prepare for to go through, and using a trusted mortgage lender and realtor will help navigate you through that process. But understand there's going to be a lot of documentation. It doesn't need to be scary, and it is something you will get through.
So looking at the overall picture, what should someone do who wants to own a home but has a history?
So understanding the process is key. Lending is different today. There are additional hoops that you might have to jump through with regard to the documentation requirements. So the first place to start is to get pre-qualified. You're going to want to work with an experienced lender. At that point, you're going to complete your loan application. They're going to pull credit and give you a big old laundry list of documentation that you're going to have to provide. But don't be afraid. It really is pretty basic stuff. So tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements, that type of thing. That'll be a great starting point.
What about down payment funds? How much money does someone need to buy a home? Is 20% required?
That is a great question, Betsy, and I think often a misconception. There are so many low down payment programs available out there today. So again, consulting with that trusted mortgage advisor in your market, they will be able to give you direction on the down payment program, the actual loan program, what best fits your scenario.
So if we are in a waiting period or have credit issues, what are some of the things that we should be thinking about in order to be prepared for the future? What are some basic steps we should take?
Now that you understand the process, you know your waiting period and what your down payment's going to be, the next piece of this puzzle is truly all about credit. Many people don't know that when you pull your credit online, it's actually a different scoring model than when a mortgage lender pulls credit. They're actually completely different scoring algorithms. So important to know that the score you're looking at may not be the credit score that the lender is using. The other thing is you want to pay down your revolving credit cards to 20% or lower of the limit. So if you owe $1,000, you won't want to owe more than $200. That will help in the credit scoring process. And if you have collections, be sure to talk with your lender before you do anything with them. And don't close or open any accounts as you go through this process. Oh, and lastly, you'll want to pay your bills on time. A late payment of 30 days or more reported on your credit report can absolutely impact your ability to obtain a home loan. So paying bills on time is key.
So when it comes time to buy a home, once you have all your ducks in a row, then what's next?
So next is the exciting part. You get to start shopping for that new home. You already know your loan option, you know what you can afford and the price point that you need to be looking in. A couple of key things is don't change jobs during the process. And you'll want to be sure that any large deposits that are not payroll related deposits, that you're communicating what those are about with your lender because they're going to want to document those.
So any final words of wisdom or of hope?
The one thing I would say is truly partner yourself or align yourself with an experienced mortgage lender. There's so much that goes into this process that somebody that doesn't have experience from a lending standpoint just is not going to know. For example, you may think that you're actually doing something that will help you during the process, but that could hurt you. So working with an experienced mortgage lender will help set you up for success. They will navigate the process and be proactive in what's about to come and giving you guidance as you go through it. You know, Betsy, the dream of home ownership truly is alive in this country. And I think people that have had a bankruptcy, a short sale, or foreclosure, or just credit issues and maybe didn't have one of those life events, sometimes they get down and they just don't know that they can buy again. Know that you can. There are so many home loan programs out there that are available. You'll want to work with a trusted advisor. They'll give you direction, and know that hope does exist. We at Cherry Creek Mortgage are committed to educating consumers and giving you the tools you need to succeed as you move through this process.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for sharing your knowledge with us today. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to be very thankful for this.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Betsy.
To learn more, visit cherrycreekmortgage.com. To see this portion of the show again, visit designingspaces.tv.